How are everybody? How is everybody? How is everybody? Good morning. Someone's having an anniversary. What a great day to get married, huh? Valentine's Day. Then your future spouse doesn't have to worry about two different cards to get you. Hey everyone. So it's Rita, and I'm here for Miss Rita to the rescue, and I'm here for today's crafting adventure with Miss Rita and her crafty friends. And today, being Valentine's Day, I'm going to do my last Valentine for the year. Although, I mean, I just feel like we should be giving out like little love every day. It shouldn't just be about Valentine's Day, but so I hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna do some more love cards because I just think it's fun. Um, so today's really special. Um, yeah, hubby won't forget. That's right. That's what I'm thinking. Today's project is pretty special. I got the original image from the CAP program. It's called the Contributing Artist Program. It started last year and now it's really just blossomed full bloom. And I wanted to sort of point out how you can work with the images. So a lot of times I find I want to make a project. I'm not sure what the project's going to be. Usually it's a card. And so I go in the search for just images that I can make into cards, which is what I did here, or make into another project. And so I want to show you how I came up with this process so that way you'll look yourself, and think, oh, I could make that into something. It's a very similar to the community create challenge where you're given, one thing and you have to make whatever for it. And so great to see so many people that are, that are doing that. So I'm going to hide this and show you what I'm thinking. So here I went to images and I typed in alphabet, I think. Alphabet, I love you. I might have typed in alphabet, I love you, or I love you. Let's try that. Might have done that. It's a little difficult to find this image because there's a heart in place of the love, I heart you. But it's really well worth it. So I'm looking for this image and I had to scroll for it. I'm thinking that I can, oh, look at this one with the berries. Oh, so cute. So you see here underneath the names, they have, underneath the image, they have these names. And these are people that are called contributing artists. So guess what? Look at our friends at Rob and Bob's studio are now considered contributing artists, which is so cool. So let's have a look at their profile so we can make sure to follow them as well because we just love them. All right, yes, we're following them already. Rob and Bob Studios, there are the guys, Rob and Bob. It says they've been designing for Cricut for over 15 years. It fuses, their signature style fuses a modern sensibility with playful sophistication, and we always aim to keep it fresh and interested. So nice. Look at this one. Love you more. So cute. So this change in, let's go back. Where do we go back? Go back. How do I get back? All right, let's go back to, wait, I'm going to go to my canvas. All right. So if you are looking for this image, I'm going to give you the image number because I can't seem to find it. So the image number is hashtag M438C091F. Okay. And then I also grouped in and added this Happy Valentine's Day. And then for the envelope, I used from another place so that you can see how I did it. So let's go ahead and bring this image in to my canvas. And I'm just going to move this over again. So I really love this image, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to make this into a sign? And then I thought, ugh, I don't want to place all these letters, and it would be too hard. So I decided first I decided what to do was that I was going to add a shape of a square, okay? And I'm going to turn that shape black. I'm going to unlock it, and then I am going to make it 10 inches by 10 by 7 inches high. This is going to be our card base, okay? And I'm also going to add a score line, but to make it so you can see my score line, I have to change this color a little bit, okay? So I'm going over to shapes again, choosing a score line, and I'm going to put it over here, stretch it to the 7 inches. Then I am going to select them both, do an aligned center, and then I'm going to attach it. Attach is down here, remember? So now my score line is attached to the card. So let's put that out of the way. So now we're going to make a 5 by 7 inch card because that's what we always do. So I'm going to change this image to 5 by 7. I might need to make a few adjustments here, but yeah. So I'm thinking, all right, so I'm going to ungroup this. And you can see, I love you. You see that? So I started thinking, what can I play with? First, I was like, I don't want to do the letters. So then I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to slice these out. And so in order to do that, what I decided to do was get all of these images, you see, even the pink, and I'm going to combine them and weld them, okay? Now I got a weld thing. Now I'm going to grab another shape of a square, unlock this, and we're going to do 5 by 7. Okay, 5 by 7. Whoops, 5 by 72. No, thank you. All right, so we're going to then arrange this to the back so that we can resize this image. I want to keep this 5 by 7. Right? So this is in the back. So I have to take my top one and I have to kind of make it slightly smaller so that it's going to fit on there. And there it is. It's fitting on there. Okay. And I'm actually going to change this square to be white. I don't know. It's just easier for me to see. All right. Now that we have the square there and we have combined all of our images, what we're going to do is then select this whole thing and we're going to slice. So once we slice, remember when you slice, it's like making cookies with a cookie cutter. You're slicing through, so there's a leftover batter or dough that you have to either combine into something else or whatever. So so that's what this is. Let's have a look. Already we have some pretty cool things going on here. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this. I'm going to change this color to red. Let's do red. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to contour. Okay. Now contour is down here on the bottom right. And I'm actually going to contour out all of the actual, no, I'm not going to contour out. What am I talking about? I'm going to contour out the I love you, but not the rest of the letters. Let's see if I did it right. Oh, okay. So I think I did it right. Let's go ahead and arrange this, send it back. No, send it to the back. Arrange, send it to the back. Okay. And you can see here, boom, I have now cut out this, and this will go, let's arrange this to the back. Just like that. And now we have the black letters and the red letters and symbol. And we have this top sheet, right? Now, when I went to cut this out, and I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. When I went to cut this out, I started thinking, wow, there's a lot of like negative space. So within the A, the B, you see those little parts that make a Q, like the middle part. Those are all called negative spaces. I'm sure they have a name, but that's what I call them, is a negative space. And so what gets me thinking about this is if I tried to cut this out in paper, I would have to go and retrieve all those little things. And I don't know if I'm lazy or what, but I just don't like to do that. So I decided that when I cut this out, I'm going to use iron on. Yes, you heard me right. Iron on. We use iron on in cards all the time. If you're new, you're going to, this is a treat. Okay. And let's just finish up the card so we can cut it all together. We need an envelope for this, and I've got some great paper that I want to use. So let's go. I'm going to go to images, and I know for sure that there is a great envelope when you go to Rob and Bob and you choose. Now, this is just me. I think what I'll do is I'll bookmark this image, but just so you know, let's see if I can't find it. So every card that's listed here has an envelope, and some of the envelopes are a little different than others, but I like this one here with the rounded top. So I'm going to bring this in here. Okay. Now, I don't need the rest of this card, although it's an adorable card. You guys know I made it before. So here you go. Let's move this card and group it. Okay. So then here we go. I'm just going to ungroup this, and I'm going to take this whole piece out. Now, I got to make sure my envelope's going to fit. So I usually do a rough thing, and I do notice that my envelope is bigger than I'm allowed to cut on a 12 by 12 inch mat. So we need to make it smaller and make sure that my card fits. So I'm just going to go up to the width, and I'm going to change it to 11 and a half, just so I can see if that's going to work, because 11 and a half is the maximum. So there you go. It's going to fit. You see, I'm just taking that square and sort of putting it in the square part of the envelope to make sure it's going to fit, and actually has plenty of wiggle room as well. Sometimes you can't get that in there. That's why I like this envelope. So I'm also going to go and put Happy Valentine's Day in. So I need an image for that. And so I'm just going to type in Happy Valentine's Day just to see what comes up. Now, the last time I did a card with vinyl on the inside, I don't know if you guys remember, I had a problem with the transfer tape lifting a little bit. And so the lifting a little bit was difficult. It kind of ruined the card. All right, come on. Come on. Happy Valentine's Day. Come on. Well, don't know what's happening here. Oh, here we go. All right. So I decided that I was going to choose some Happy Valentine's Day. So you could choose any of these. Which one is the one I chose? I don't remember. It had hearts on it. But anyway, any one of these. So I'm just going to grab this one here and add it to my canvas. And it's huge. It's super huge. So I'm going to make it smaller like this. And I am going to be cutting this out in silver. I decided to go with silver for my inside of my card. So I could change the color if I wanted to, just to kind of get an idea of how it's going to look. And now we are ready to cut. All right, so we're ready to cut. But remember, before you start cutting, make sure you save your project, because you don't want to get in a situation, which happened to me recently, where I was cutting something and I forgot to save it, and it jammed in my machine, so I had to like get out of it, and then I realized I had to get out of design space entirely, so I wasn't able to save the card. So always save your cards or whatever project you're working on, especially before you go and cut it out. So now we can go ahead and hit make it. And you guys know I always put 2 of everything. It's just my way. Sorry. Anyway, and so here's the Valentines. But what I need to do on this top sheet, and actually 2 other places, is I need to mirror. So here it is mirrored. Same thing with this. I'm going to mirror the sentiment. I don't need to mirror the squares, but I do need to mirror the red. Okay? So I'm all ready to cut out, and here we go. We're going to hit continue. So I'm going to, because we've done this before, I'm going to show you how to put this together. But I thought today I would work on envelopes, because I know that's something that I am sort of I have neglected in the past, and I generally always buy my envelopes, but I'm going to use this really fun, it's like an embossed rose, which I think is really fun, and it's sort of, I don't know, just kind of cute. So let's go to, we're gonna do the envelope. Where's my mouse? And this is medium cardstock. I am going to change my material, I'm sorry, my tool to scoring stylus, because I like to use that the most. And I'll choose more pressure for the cut. Yeah, it's pretty paper, right? All right, so let's go on over here. Now, you saw that I switched out the scoring wheel for the stylus. If you have the scoring wheel and you want to use it, go right ahead. Nobody's stopping you. I have a tendency to use the stylus unless it's a lot of scoring, like say if I was making rosettes or something. But in the meantime, I just put my scoring stylus here in the clamp A. Make sure you press it all the way down like this, and I have my regular bladed housing in here. So remember that when you have scoring or writing on a project, it always does the scoring, then the writing, and then the cutting. So the first thing that it's going to do is it's going to make that square in the envelope. And, oh, we're going to need our Cricut Easy Press Mini. So here we go. Now for the front of this card, I did decide to use, let me just show you the card. So this is the card I used in this great paper. And so for the front of this card, I decided to use this white, that decided to use the white glitter top because I thought it looked cool. And I also used for the red, I used red iron-on. And then I just ironed it on to my card, and then I put the sentiment on the inside. Isn't that adorable? So we're going to put this together today, and I have it all cut out. We're just gonna work on this envelope first. All right, so there's my envelope. Let's get down here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, and I did put this on a strong grip mat only because it's really nice and sticky. It's really nice and sticky, and it allows my paper, or keeps my paper from moving all around. And a lot of times if you don't clean your mats, and yes, you can clean your mats, but if you don't clean your mats, they lose their stick, especially if you are working with paper. Paper has, because it's a, because of the nature of it, it has pulp. Wow, I don't know what's going on. Hello? Come on, you guys. So paper has like a pulp, and it leaves that pulp on your mat. So I'd recommend that you use good sticky mats, and if that means to get more of them, then do it, because it will drive you crazy if you have mats that don't stick well, but you can clean them. I've been cleaning them with wipes because everybody keeps talking about the baby wipes, but I honestly think the best clean is when you get to the, what am I talking about, Rita? Rita, what are you talking about? When you get to the sink and you wash it with like a nice scrubby sponge. Okay, see, all I did here was fold on the score lines, and then I'm just going to use either double stick tape, but in this case I'm using glue, because why not? I'm going to close, by the way, I always close the sides in and then the bottom. I just feel like it looks better that way, but you guys, you do what you want. And there you go. There is my envelope for my lovely, whoops, make sure you press down. Press down, press down. Okay, now let's have a look at the actual card that we're doing. So I did cut this out ahead. I'm just going to put my glue away. There we go. I did cut this out ahead. It doesn't want to stick. Might have used double stick tape. Might have to put a little more glue. Let's do that. Because of the embossed nature of the paper, that's probably why it's not getting a good contact there. Okay. So let's see. And use all your fun paper. Look at these envelopes. Aren't they cool? So cool. All right. So let's have a look. Oh, here's another envelope. All right, let's have a look at the actual card itself. Now I'm getting a little envelope obsessed, I think. So I'm going to just fold this like this, and I can put this aside for a second while I weed. And what do I need? Okay, I need this. All right, and so this is just regular iron-on, and then the top layer is glitter iron-on. I'm going to grab my weeding tool, and I am going to start weeding this. It's a little hard to see, so I have to kind of hold it, sort of, and then I can start weeding. What's hard about this part is it's mirrored. So you have to kind of look over here to see, oh, what am I doing here? You know, because a lot of times it's hard to think in a mirrored way or to look in a mirrored way, if that makes sense. I don't know. I personally do not have a problem with reading backwards. So oh, it's a weird thing that I can do. Like I could read my teacher notes if they were making them in front of me, you know, that sort of thing, or doctors even. And I'm an inquisitive person, so I would just ask, well, what do you mean by that? But I didn't realize that some people can't read upside down or backwards or whatever. Just a little trick I had, and I think it surprised some doctors. So, okay, so see, we're taking this off. There's going to be the eye, so we don't choose anything for the eye. And if anybody saw my post from yesterday, this is where the letter came from that I found on the floor at the YMCA. And I was like, and it was after I swam, so it like came off my clothes somehow, because I had changed at the Y, and then I was like putting on my shoes, and I saw the little thing, and then I realized, oh my gosh, I have two different shoes on, and I found this R on the floor from here. But how did it get there? I'm just wondering, like, did it get underneath my dress or something? I don't know. It's rather strange. Anyway, so here's what we're doing. We are removing the letters, but you see here all of my negative spaces, or the parts that are in that are inside of the letters. Why am I having trouble with this? I'm having a little trouble. Sorry, you guys. I woke up today. I got to tell you, I know everybody has their own way, and everything is all like, it depends on your your body chemistry and stuff like that. Gail was telling me yesterday. But I tried this CBD oil for the first time. Now, I've never had my CBD oil that had just plain CBD oil, and I kind of always thought, well, maybe it doesn't work if it, because I think somebody told me it doesn't work unless you have the THC, and the THC makes me feel weird, so I try not to use it all that much because I end up feeling like I can't function. So I tried the CBD in a pill form, and I could not believe how much relief I got from my pain. It was just amazing. All right, here's the white one, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna remove. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna keep those little negative spaces in there. So we're just removing this like this. So anybody got plans for tonight? It's also a Tuesday. So if you're a Mexican food loving person, then you might go out for tacos. Maybe I'll make tacos. I actually have all the stuff for tacos, but not the shells. Do I want to go out for the shells? Don't know. Maybe I can make burritos because I have burrito flour tortillas, but I like those crunchy taco shells. I don't know. Who doesn't like tacos? I mean, tacos are pretty awesome. Anyway, and why do we always have to equate everything with food? I know I do. I was talking to my friend who lives in South Dakota now. Now he's from the East Coast, and he's a television producer out in South Dakota. But he's from the East Coast, and every time I talk to him, I go, why South Dakota? And like, how can you be so far away? He was from New York. He grew up in New York, and he worked everywhere, Virginia Beach and Savannah, Albany, that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden he decided he wanted to move over to South Dakota, and he assures me it's really nice there, but and this very vibrant art scene, which I'm glad for. But I just it's so weird, a New Yorker in South Dakota. Anyway, just kind of fun. All right, so we did these two. Let's go ahead and finish up the sentiment. I thought I'd wait and do it with you. So remember the time when I was doing, let's see, it could have been the last time I was doing vinyl on the inside of my card. And this A is weird. On the inside of my card. And it kind of lifted the top of the card off. So I ended up saying, you know what, I think I'm going to use iron-on from now on the inside of the cards. And it's worked to my favor. Otherwise, you could also use pans. You could use the pens. And this is very detailed. So every once in a while, turn it around. Make sure you're doing the right thing. Yes, I'm getting there. All right. And here we go. So the big news is, and I've got to see the doctors tomorrow, but the big news is I think all of my scans back, although I didn't see the one they did of my head, which is really worrying me. And I'm starting to get, what do they call that? Psychosomatic. I hope it's just psychosomatic. Man, I don't want to have issues with my, the H is missing on here. How'd the H go missing? All right. Let's pull this off and pretend like the H is still there. All right. It just says Happy Valentine's Day. I lost the letter, which doesn't usually happen to me on iron-on. Okay, so the good news is that my cancer sounds like my kitty cat or my sun. It's weird. But anyway, so my cancer has gotten more like spread out more, but it's still just on the bones. And it's literally on the bones. It's not in the bones. So that is a different kind of thing. They're called like lesions. All right, so this works out, but there's the A for happy. And let's get our mini press. I'm going to put it on 2. Now, actually, I'm going to put it on 1 for the everyday vinyl. Now, I need to have a mat here. And then I'm going to take my pieces. Now, first, I'm going to use and do the red. And what I'm going to do is match this up to the to the paper, just like that. Now, if you're afraid that it's going to wiggle, you can use either heat tape, or you can do what I do and you can use some masking tape. So here's my masking tape. I used to have a masking tape dispenser. Don't know where that went off to. Probably down at Owen's little apartment downstairs. Okay, so there it is. Now, when I get to this point, I'm not going to heat that because I don't want it to like leave a residue or anything or burn. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm just kind of like holding it in place so that it doesn't move when I first get going on this. So this is still heating up. Oh, it's usually quicker than that. I will say, though, that I dropped it the other day, and it took like a flying leap. So, okay, it's ready. So now we're going to start ironing onto the paper underneath, the cardstock underneath. Today's Tuesday. Okay, today's trash day. Here come the trash. I think they pick up the recycling first. All right, so we want to make sure we get all the corners and all these little places, and you'll see from the heat guide, you do it on paper. It takes about 25 seconds, but remember, we're using the smaller press, so using the smaller press, so you have to make sure that you're doing 25 seconds in all of the places when the press is smaller than the card we're making. So that's why I'm moving it around. There we go. I'm going to let it cool a little bit. Okay, so let's cool that a little bit. Okay, let's see. It's not quite ready up in there. Nope, you see it's not ready. So, whoops, we got to come back, especially the corners. We need to make sure we're getting those attached, because that's the place that we're going to remove the iron-on cover, the transfer part. So, I'm just making sure I do all of the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. See, I can't leave it there for the whole time. Yeah, no, I don't know. I just don't have the patience or something, but let's try it now. Let it cool a little bit, because remember, if it's a cold peel, you've got to let it cool before. And this is very, very hot, because this has like a reflective, I don't know what this, it's a reflective fabric. So it helps with the iron-on, but it does not help with the cooling. So now I'm reading the notes while the chat. Oh, thank you, Loretta. Loretta is so cool, isn't she? She's so cool. So I did talk, but I still need to have another conversation about it. I did talk to my friend Jamie. You see her on here a lot. So Jamie is very meticulous, whereas I I would say, creative. And so for me, I miss a lot of the details of things, like the giveaways and when they changed it and everything. So um, I I'm going to at least, I hope, be able to do a giveaway in March and then another one in April at the minimum. And I can't worry about it anymore. I just can't worry about it anymore. I only have so much energy. There it is. Look at that. To give. We all only have so much energy to give, right? And we don't realize that because in our brains, I don't think that this has to do with our brains, but I think in our brains, we're designed to not think about the fact that we are going to die someday. And every time I say to people, oh, well, we're all going to die, like meaning I'm not going to live forever. I mean, I want to have a nice life and a nice long life, but I'm aware of my mortality because of the cancer. So, but people always get freaked out when I say that, and so I don't know. It's like we just don't think about it, but yeah, we're gonna all die someday. I don't know how I got on that topic, but but oh yes, okay. So I only have like so much energy out there. And yesterday I did go swimming. I spent 30 minutes in the pool. I got to see some of my old swimmy buddies. It's kind of funny when you're in the pool, you're wearing like next to nothing and you're just talking like blah 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 blah. And you're like, I'm just, the only thing that's standing between me and total embarrassment is a bathing suit. Kind of funny. Anyway, I had a really great time. I got out of there and feeling great, took a shower, headed home. Everything was good. Everything was good. And I thought, okay, we got to check it tomorrow. But I thought I would be sore this morning, and I absolutely am not. And I also feel like I slept better. And I don't know if that's the CBD or if it's the pool or a combination of the two. Yes, I agree with you, Babs. You have to live your life. But there are some things. Remember that book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff? And I think the subtitle was It's All Small Stuff. And I think that people forget that some of the stuff, like when I started thinking about like people like I want to be given a choice. Like if someone said, "Do you want a blue one or a red one?" I want to be given a choice. But um I I also don't want to be boxed into a corner where like if I took the red one every single time, oh, I'm going to give the red, whatever. So I appreciate when people try to give me like a choice, like, do you want to do this or that? But I think, um, excuse me, the issue of having this mortality, facing your mortality, ooh, it's almost done. Some of the stuff is just such a small world thing. Thanks, Lisa. So it's just such a small, like, so when people get like, oh, and I remember when my kid was young, I used to say, you get what you get and you don't get upset. That's what I used to tell. That's what I used to say. You get what you get and you don't get upset. And so now when I am faced with a challenge and I have the option, because we all have options, right? We all can just choose, I'm not going to give energy to this or I'm not going to give energy to that. That's what your life is. That's how you make a life. You know, life isn't happening to you, or perhaps it is happening to you, but you have some control, and choice is your control. Okay, so if you ever stuck with this thought of, oh, why me, think, why not me? Why not me? I'm a person just like everybody else, so why not me? So anyway, sorry, I'll get off my little preaching corner there. So you see here, what? Oh, I got dog hair. dog hair. Okay. And you might have to straighten it out a little bit because the heat from the press can cause it to wrinkle a little bit. So we have our thing on still. So I'm going to take my Happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to cut it down because I like to know exactly where I put it. Cutting it down also removes some of the hair that just falls on there. I guess my dog's so hairy. I gave Teddy Bear a kiss on the mouth this morning. I was like, there's my Valentine. Mwah! And he was like, what are you doing, Mom? I love you too, but I'm not going to kiss you on the lips. Ew, gross. And then Benji's funny. I got Benji, he's a rescue. And so I didn't bring him up. And he doesn't kiss. Like, he doesn't even want to kiss you or lick you or anything like that. And when he does, so like he'll come up on your lap and he's like, hi, hello. But if you go, to lean down and kiss him, he's like, what are you doing? Like, we don't do that here. We don't do that here. I do have Santo, but when he's on a job, he's like you can't find him. So he's on a job in Boston this week. I don't know how long it's going to last, but he's rehabbing a 4-family or 3-family in Dorchester, which is a part of Boston. He came from the Dominican Republic, but he settled when he first got here in Roslindale. He came here a long time ago, like mid 80s. So, and then he decided, a few years ago to move here on the North Shore. And as a person of color, it has been challenging for him because in Peabody, if you look at some of the statistics, I mean, we have a nice representation of all the different kinds of nationalities, but it's traditionally been a very white, male dominated thing. And so, even for women, just not really open, but I'm starting to see some changes in that whole idea. And people like me get put on commissions like the Conservation Commission, partly because I'm a woman. And, they want to diversify and they want to show equity. And equity is an interesting term, but you hear it a lot, equity. So. Oh, so Cheryl's saying, my dad didn't believe in arguing unless it was productive. Yeah, that's great. Oh, and he left you funny stories. I love funny stories. I have this, I saw this cute, what was it? Little comic strip. I'll have to post it. About how we name our animals. And so the animal starts off with, well, I was named Charles, and then I became Charlie, and then I became Sir Charlie McFluffybutt. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what happens, isn't it? Sir Charlie McFluffybutt. And, we always give these little goofy names. Ted, not so much, but when I had, I guess Ben, I do it. Ben, Benji, Benjamin, but nothing funny like that. But when I had my corgi, when I was first getting into corgis, we had Gus, and then we called him Augustus Gloop, which is from the, I'm having trouble with this, Augustus Gloop, which is from the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie, and then he just became Gus. And then when I got Gwen, my sister called them the G Dogs and stuff like that. Oh, that's so cool. Loretta says, when I was a child, our dog's name was Rebel, the first letter of each of the children's name. So I guess you're the L, Loretta. Oh yeah. So Mama Bear is saying the same thing. You know, you choose who is going to be by your side, you know, during difficult times. And there are some people that come into your life that are just not healthy for you. You can still love them, but you have to put up boundaries, and nothing gives you good boundaries like having cancer, because you realize I only got so much time here. And I cannot believe I've got dog hair on this. Can you believe it? Oh my God. It probably came from my sweater. But so this is what your Valentine's going to look like if you have a dog like mine that sheds crazy. So, and let's put it in our envelope. I didn't take this off because I still have to iron some more on there. So let's put it in our envelope. There we go. Now I'm going to give one of these to Santo, but I have one more to give out. Who would like to receive it? I have one more to give out. Loretta? You need to put an H in your greeting. I know that. I know that. Yes, Sancho's going to get one. He's going to get the appy one because he won't care. He loves anything that I do. But I still need to put some more heat on this. Okay, so tomorrow being the 15th, I don't know if that's the anti-Valentine. I always called it the stupid Cupid day, because the next day you could go to the store and buy all the Valentine stuff for like 50 and 70% off. I didn't see the puppy bowl. No, so Debbie's asking me, thank you for doing that. He won't care. He really won't, Babs. Like he writes, because you know English is his second language, and I shouldn't be like I should probably do something in Spanish, but anyway, I didn't. I get better at it as time goes on. I do get better at it. Anyway, what was I gonna say? So Loretta, can you give away one? Who would like to receive this card? Oh, there you go, Loretta. All right. So tomorrow, since it's the day after the holiday, I thought that we would do. Why do we do that? Like, why do we think a late card? Why do we even call it a late card? You know, because Christmas cards come all through the season and even after the season. But the day after Valentine's Day, you can't make a card that says "I love you" on it. You know, it's just a little weird. Um, And so there you go. Now, so tomorrow, I keep saying tomorrow. So tomorrow, my plan is to do I wanted to do this really cute card for I'm going to make it for a child's birthday. It's an astronaut card. I know kids aren't that into astronauts, but I was watching something last night and they reminded me of like during the phase of like the really all about astronauts phase, you know, like that was more like 50, 60, everything was like retro and celestial and stuff. And I don't know if kids still want to be astronauts, but a lot of kids. Yes, Eileen, you're so great. You're right. So Eileen says, use my silver glitter gel pen. I'm going to fix that. And okay. Oh, Lisa Gerber one. Lisa Gerber, you're going to get the nice one. You're not going to get the appy. All right. There it is. It's done, you guys. So, woo, woo, woo. Now, let me just bring you back to here because I want to show you something. Let's see. Yes. And cancel and save. All right. So I've saved this and I have this name. So if you were interested in being part of the community the best way to do that is to publish your your project idea. So this is my project idea, and I even put little things here about the envelope from another design. Okay, something happened to my internet. I don't know if you can still hear me. Okay. Oh, so April, I'm sorry, I'm back. So April's saying if I use paper underneath, then it will stick. All right. So tomorrow, yeah, you can hear me. Can you see me too? It's better. It's better now. It said something. Okay. There's an echo. All right. Well, I'm almost done. So we'll kind of keep it from there. I don't know what happened, but that's not going to work, right? So anyway, I think I'm jammed again. You hear me, but you don't see my I guess I didn't check. All right, you guys, I'm going to end this because people are, see your profile page. Yeah. And then, yeah. Oh, you see my profile page. So tomorrow we'll do embossing folders, and we're going to do that with what's called the Empress. It's an Anna Griffin machine that does die cuts. And so you may have seen these kinds of machines and thought, well, do I need one of those too? And so if you want to do things like use embossing folders, yeah, you probably need some sort of like a crank or electric emboss. It's basically it's a die cut and embossing system. So we're going to do embossing, and after we emboss, we'll talk about embossing and how it works. Then we will use perfect pearls on the paper that we emboss, because I think that's the most stunning thing about perfect pearls. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. I want to use that. I've only used it for, yay, it's a rabbit hole. Now, you don't have to have an Empress. I want to just state that, okay? You do not have to, I'm not saying go out and buy an Empress, but the Empress is electric, and I can't stand the crank. So I have a crank one that is good for me. It's really flat. It's called the Big Shot, but I'm not going to use that tomorrow. I'm going to use my Anna Griffin because the cranking part is just a little too much for me. And you have pearls. Okay, good. So these are called perfect pearls, and they come in like a little, almost like an eyeshadow type of a small, low profile jar. And they come in like 20 different colors. I only have like 10, but I'm going to show you how they work. It's so much fun. Yeah, the crank, it's not for me. I just no. When I first got into this, I looked at the cranking thing. I'm like, I'm never going to be able to handle that. And that was like 15 years ago. So there you go. All right, you guys, that's it for me for today. And we're going to do tomorrow, we're going to do our Empress. It will be Valentine's Day for us. How about that? Or the stupid Cupid Day. But we're going to do some like fancy, what do we call her? Fancy Anna Griffin embossing folders, things that I've had forever, and I want to show you how to use them. Now, again, you don't need to go out and buy one of these machines. They tend to be rather expensive. I don't know all the machines. I only own those 2 crank machines, and I feel like I can use those machines not so much for the die cuts, although die cuts are handy, but mostly for the embossing folders. Okay. All right, you guys, forever for you too. Hello, gal. Do you like holographic? I don't know. So that's kind of fun. All right. That's it for me for today, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day, whatever you choose to spend your time on. I hope it's good quality time and you look back on it and you say, oh, so it's such a good Valentine's Day. I know a lot of people, they put so much emphasis on the Valentine's Day. It's like, okay, it's just another holiday, and just because you don't have a handsome man to kiss or woman to kiss or whatever, if you don't have that, kiss your guinea pig, or kiss your cat, Frank. Oh, by the way, Frank, he was crying like crazy last night, and I'm like, why is he doing that? Does he want to go outside? I've never heard him cry like that. And then it was already dark. It was like 8 o'clock, and then we went. Owen went out to the kitchen, and he comes back and he's screaming, "Oh my God!" And he actually jumped onto my bed, like in from the end of it. And I have like a foot, what do you call that? I have a headboard and a footboard. So he actually like hurdled over the footboard and jumped on the bed. He's like, "Oh my God, oh my God." And I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" And he said, "I think I saw another rat." So I was like, "Oh, okay. That's why Frankie was saying that." Or it might have been I don't do Craig. You get that Empress out of the box, Gail. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. Oh, it means in Hawaiian means go, go, go. I love it. Hello, 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 gal. It means go, go, go. I just learned something new today. Hello, 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 hello. All right, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Um, Yeah, he knew. So I don't know. He's been sleeping on my bed at night, but I didn't see him there last night. So I think he was mousing. He was mousing, maybe. I feed him, but I don't feed him that well. I know I'm saying that's terrible. I don't feed him a lot. Like, he doesn't get like wet food, and it's because he would only eat the gravy. And so I got like, this is a waste, and plus it's gross. Wet cat food is just gross. And so he only eats kibble. My sister thinks he's being like treated unfairly because she has two cats, and those cats eat like better than she does. And like, she hand makes like chicken and chops it all up and portions it out. I'm like, not for me. No, he's a cat. If he wants some extra food, he can go mouse for it. But my sister doesn't live where I live. So anyway, all right, you guys, I love you. You have no spouse or pets, but hopefully my fam as well. Gail, I'm going to wish you happy Valentine's Day. I don't have a spouse. I have pets, but it's okay. It's where you're at. Right? So you just give them dry food, right, Marlene? Because it seems such a waste. You go through all the trouble. You pick up the can and it's like gravy. I don't know. It has all these savory beef, and you're like, ew, weird, weird. So I'm like, no, thank you. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you later. Keep crafting, enjoy